back to Chill Vibes Only. Today we are going to be doing yoga for taking a different path or seeing a different perspective. There's a story that I usually like to share in some of my classes about the person who was walking down the street and they fall into this hole. And it takes them a day to get out of the hole. And then the next day they wake up and they walk down the same street and they fall into the hole again. And this time it takes them an hour to get out of the hole. And then the next day they walk down the street and they fall into the hole again. This time it takes them about 10 minutes to get out of the hole. Next day, walk down the street, they edge themselves around, they're like almost around the hole, and then they fall into the hole and it takes them about a minute to get out. And then the following day comes and the person comes and they edge and they squeeze, and they finally get around the hole and they go on and continue on with their day. And then the next day comes and they just decide to take a different street. So that story resonates really personally with me. I think everybody in our lives have these holes that we get stuck in and that we fall into, even when we know better. And I think taking the time to maybe take a different street or take a different approach or choose a different option is really valuable. And I think on our mat, practicing that and really questioning what comes up in our minds, and maybe when we're in certain poses, you might think a certain way, and really asking yourself why, instead of just falling into that same mind trap of the same thought process. Really ask yourself why you feel that way, and if you can make a conscious change and maybe take a different street or take a different thought process when it comes to that. So today's yoga practice is all about taking a different street, taking a new perspective, and really questioning your thought patterns. So with that being said, we'll get started. Today we're actually going to all start in child's pose. So you can bring your knees nice and wide here, and we can extend our arms out in front of us, letting our forehead rest towards the mat. And I just want to take 3 conscious breaths together. So inhaling through the nose, feeling our back ribs expand. And then exhale, side at the mouth. Awesome. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, side at the mouth. One more time. Deep, big breath in through the nose. Exhale, side at the mouth. Beautiful. We'll push our way up into our tabletop. And in our tabletop, we'll just go through a couple rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, dropping the belly, looking up. Exhale, rounding the spine, tucking in. Chin goes towards the chest. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, round the spine. Drop in. And then you can start to move in whatever way feels comfortable and natural to you. So maybe you start to make some figure eights with your hips. Maybe you push yourself a little bit forward, maybe push yourself back. Just doing whatever feels nice and natural and comfortable in your body here. The next couple breaths are yours, so just do whatever you want with it. And it doesn't have to be the thing that you always do in this pose. You can maybe try something new. Try a different route. Okay. One more full cycle of breath here. Full exhale. Awesome. We're going to curl our toes under and shoot our hips up and back into our first downward facing dog. A nice generous down dog here. You can bend one knee and then bend the other. Just stretching out the back sides of your legs here. Clawing into the knuckle part of your finger, really pushing down with your fingertips. Beautiful. And then we'll slowly walk our feet up to the top of our mat to meet our hands. Right away, we're going to hang in a nice, juicy forward fold. So dropping our belly onto our thighs. I want you to grab opposite elbow here and just sway back and forth. Shake your head yes, and shake your head no. much as you need to here. Try to get your belly towards your thighs, shooting your hips up towards the ceiling. And then we'll slowly begin to roll all the way up, one vertebrae at a time, nice and easy here. Last one up wins. Looping your shoulders up and around and down. Awesome. We'll find our Tadasana. So toes touching, heels slightly apart. We'll inhale, reach our arms up nice and strong. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up. Awesome. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Begin to extend your legs out about 3 feet. You're going to pigeon toe your toes in. We're coming into a wide-legged forward fold here. So lifting our kneecaps up, engaging the fronts of our thighs. You can bring your hands to your hips. Then we're going to just do some trunk rotations. So you're going to inhale, reach your spine up, and then exhale, slowly start to make circles with the crown of your head. So going in whatever direction feels natural to you first. Coming all the way back up. And then on your exhale, folding down, nice big circles. And if you hear some creaks and cracks in your hips here, that is totally normal. Don't worry about it. Just keep moving with your breath. Awesome. The next time you find yourself at the top, we'll switch directions, taking some circles in the opposite direction here. Beautiful. Nice big circles, just getting into the hips. One more breath cycle here. Awesome, and we're actually going to meet at the bottom and find a little bit of stillness here. So you can walk your hands out as far as you want in front of you, or you can begin to walk them back closer to underneath your legs. You're working with a flat back here, so we're not trying to round our lower spine. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips, flat back, and then exhale, fold over your legs. You can release your head down. Maybe you grab the outsides of your feet and use them as a little bit of an anchor point to pull you deeper into this stretch. Or maybe you just stay up a little bit more and you breathe here. Engaging our thighs, so we're lifting our kneecaps up. It's going to tell our hamstrings to relax. And then we're going to breathe. And in a posture like this, where there's a lot of intensity in the back of our legs and maybe we have some thoughts that come up for us, let's focus on why those thoughts come up and what we want to do. Let's respond, not react. So not falling into those same thought patterns here, but instead really questioning what comes up for you and choosing if it's worth holding on to or if it's something you can let go of. 2 more breaths. Awesome. Slowly bring your hands back up to your hips. On your inhale, rise all the way back up. Heel toe our feet in together. And find our Tadasana again. That was a great job, everyone. From our Tadasana, we'll reach our arms up. Exhale, we'll forward fold down over our legs. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, we'll plant our palms and step back into our downward facing dog. Take 1 breath here in down dog. From your down dog, come forward into your plank. In your plank, really engage your thighs here, engage your legs, come up onto the pads of your toes. Nice strong arms, nice strong core, breathe here. Again, we're finding ourselves in a tricky spot. Maybe your mind goes automatically to a place here. And really just question yourself why. And think about that. And maybe you choose a different perspective. Maybe you choose a different street. We won't be here forever. Remembering that everything is temporary, every feeling is temporary. We'll do one more breath here. Exhale, drop down to your knees and then slowly lower all the way down to your belly. You can plant your toes into the mat. Bring your forehead down onto the mat. Let your arms rest beside you. Take a moment here to yourself to reflect. Did you fall into the hole there? Or did you take a different street? Did you question? Don't worry, we're going to have another chance to come back to that. So if you fell into the hole, that's okay. We'll come back to it. On your next inhale, bring your hands up beside your breastbone. We're going to come into a baby cobra. So inhale, draw your shoulders down and back. Press your feet into the mat and then rise up. And then exhale, release. Beautiful. We'll do another baby cobra. Inhale, rise up. Chest peels up. And then exhale, release back down. One more time. Inhale, press your toes into the mat, peel up. Beautiful. Exhale, release. Curl your toes under. Push yourself back up into downward facing dog. We'll take 3 breaths here. Awesome. Inhale forward into your plank. Here we go. Nice, big, strong breaths. Notice where your mind goes. Choose to breathe. Choose a different street. You've got this. And if you need to come to your knees, that's totally fine. But make that a conscious choice. Belly draws up into the spine. Arms are strong. Back is strong. Leg is strong. You are strong. You can do this. One more breath. And then exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Awesome. This time we'll bring our arms out beside us a little bit farther. We'll inhale up into our cobra. And then exhale, drop your left shoulder down towards the right. And then inhale up into cobra. Exhale, drop the right shoulder down to the left. Inhale up into cobra. Exhale, come back down, push yourself back into your child's pose. So knees are wide, chest melts towards the mat. Take one breath here. Exhale. Inhale, push yourself back up into your downward facing dog. And then we'll slowly walk our feet to the top of our mat, hanging in a forward fold once again. We'll inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. From here, we're going to find our tree pose. So in your tree, you really want to engage your thighs and your core to keep you strong. We're going to start with the left side. So ground down through that left leg. Really try to feel the energy drawing up from the earth beneath you. And bring your right leg up either onto your left shin, up on your left thigh, or it can even just be a little kickstand. You can put your foot wherever you want as long as it's not on your knee, because that can damage the knee. So choose your placement for your foot, and then once you're there, bring your hands up to heart center. Steady your gaze. Feel your breath. And if you feel strong and sturdy, maybe you begin to reach your arms up. Maybe bring your arms into cactus to try something new today. Again, noticing what comes up for you here. Focusing on what you can control, like your breath, your gaze, your thoughts. One more breath in. Exhale, release. Release your arms. Find yourself in Tadasana. Take one breath here. And exhale. Awesome. We'll come into it on the other side, so grounding down through the right foot this time. Place your left foot on in the same position you placed your right. Hands come to heart center. Again, steady your gaze, engage your core, breathe here. Once you feel strong and sturdy, you can reach your arms up or take cactus. Sometimes cactus is nice, especially if you sit all day. Opening your shoulders up and drawing them down your back can feel really, really nice. Vision yourself as a strong, majestical tree in the forest. Awesome. One more breath here. And then we'll release. Beautiful job, everybody. Inhale, we'll reach our arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, plant the palms. Stepping back into our final downward facing dog. We're gonna reach our right leg up, nice and strong. Exhale, right leg planted between our left palms. We're coming down onto our back left knee. And then peel up onto your right foot, coming into your runner stretch here. So you wanna try to keep your, you don't want to sink back into your hips here. You want to try to keep your hips up, or your left hip up over your left knee, flexing those right toes back towards your heart, bowing over your leg. Try to square your hips, melting your heart on every exhale over that right leg. One more breath here. Awesome. Exhale, release. Plant your foot back. I lied. We're doing one more downward facing dog just to switch out. Get your left foot up. Plant your left foot between your palms, coming down onto that right knee. Immediately curl up onto that left heel, flexing your left foot back towards your heart. Again, working to square the hips and keeping your hips up over that right knee. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fold over. It's a nice juicy stretch for our hamstrings. This is the beginner stretch for those of you who want to go into the splits one day. You can play with the placement of your palms. Maybe they're back closer to your hips, or maybe they're closer towards your left foot. Two more breaths here. Awesome. Coming forward onto that left foot, and then you can just push it back into your table, and we're actually going to find a seat here. From our seat, we're going to extend our legs out wide, so coming into our wide-legged seat. You might want to sit up on a cushion here if you have one. If you kind of feel like you're always rolling back, a little bit of elevation can help you. You can keep as much of a bend in your knees as possible. We're just going to actually fold in here. So inhale, reach your arms up, and then exhale, fold over your legs. And it doesn't matter how wide apart your legs are. It doesn't matter how close your chest comes to the ground. We're just trying to find some release. So just dropping the head, walking the arms forward, staying here. And again, noticing what comes up in your mind in this posture. I know personally for me, I'm a bad yogi. Why can't my legs be all the way spread out? Why can't my chest be lying flat on the floor? Why aren't I not as flexible as everybody else? And I ask myself why I feel those ways and why my mind goes to that when I come into a posture like this. And for me, it's more stemmed out of, I guess, if I ask myself it multiple times, it probably comes from fear that I'm not good enough, that I can't be a good yoga teacher because I can't lie flat on the floor here. And when you say it out loud to yourself, it sounds quite ridiculous, because I don't think that's what makes a good yoga teacher, at least in my mind. So kind of coming to terms with that and being okay with that, and choosing not to get mad at myself or feel bad about myself about the way my body is in certain poses, but taking a different street of self-love and self-compassion, and knowing that maybe one day I'll get there and maybe I won't, but it's okay either way. But yeah, just coming to terms with that, taking a different street with that, changing my perspective on that, finding a little bit of peace. So I encourage you all to do the same and to embrace you and yourself for exactly who you are, to choose love for yourself always. One more breath here. Awesome. Slowly roll yourself back up. We'll meet all on our backs in our reclined butterfly. So soles of the feet touching. One hand's on your belly. The other hand can be on your heart. Take a moment here to feel your breath. Take a breath in, your belly expanding. And then on your exhale, releasing something, letting something go. Take a moment to feel your heartbeat. Acknowledging that that is such a blessing. Taking a moment of gratitude to acknowledge how incredibly lucky and special we are that we get to be blessed with this life. That we're alive, we're here, we're living, we're practicing. These are all blessings that not everybody gets an opportunity for. So really tuning into a sense of gratitude here for yourself on your mat. When you're ready, you can start to extend your legs out wide, coming into your final rest, your final shavasana. Maybe you extend your arms out wide, or maybe you keep them on your belly, one on your heart. I hope this practice has encouraged you all to take a different street, to ask yourself why, and to focus on the things that matter, the things that bring you joy. To fill yourself with nothing but love, so you can spread that out to the world around you.